Hey, everybody, all you listeners of Grawlix Saves the World. My God, this morning, do we have a treat? We're dropping an episode of Boi Crazy into your feed, and it is out of control. It gets contentious because these two fuckwits almost destroy a friendship.
Resent that?
No, you don't resent that. You resemble it, because what happened was you made some allegiances, Adam, and Andrew, you are out of your fucking mind. Ron, you lost your shit today. Today we are going to be, this is arguably one of the most contentious Boi Crazies we've ever had. Will we survive it? I don't know. You're going to have to listen to find out. So enjoy this episode of Boi Crazy, and we will be back next week with a brand new episode of the Grawlix Saves the World. We hope you enjoy it. And now here's that theme song, and I'm going to go take a nice cold bath to calm down. Oh, fuck, we're back. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Man, you almost sprained something doing that. Yeah.
God, I'm so excited. It's been a while since we've been back in the Boi Crazy studio.
You were clogged. You had to burst a clog.
Oh,
Let me
God.
explain what's going on. Listeners, we took a break. We took a week off, and we decided we better come back pretty strong if we're going to do something like that. So we are here, and we are ready to Boi Crazy.
Oh my God. And I am foaming. People who aren't watching this, people who are not on Patreon can't see. I'm frothing at the mouth.
They can hear it. There is a sort of saturation that comes off of you during the Boi Crazy.
Have you had a rabies shot recently?
Right,
Lynn?
that might be it.
I'm worried you might be rabid for hunks.
I am. I'm prowling. I'm hanging inside your house from a curtain rod upside down. And you're like, we better get that boy bat out of here. But we can't, because he's rabid for hunks right now.
Boy bat.
Can I explain to some of our listeners who may have zero idea what is going on? We are taking a break from our regularly scheduled Grawlix Saves the World to do something that we do occasionally, which is called Boi Crazy, wherein we rank the hunkitude of various hunks of yesteryear, today, tomorrow, can be anything. And we have a real special one today. It is Christmas in July. We're trying to do a branding thing, right, guys? We're trying to brand this. So
Chris,
all caps, Thomas in July.
Right.
No, but no T.
C-H-R-I-S, Chris. Miss.
No. There's no T. Just say
we're
Chris.
eliminating the T.
We're eliminating the T. Capital CHRIS hyphen MAS in July.
Okay.
Christmas. More Chris's. More Chris.
Chris's.
You see what I'm
That's what
saying?
Ben brings to these pitch meetings. Yeah, you see him doing lines off the dashboard of his car out there before we even unlock the office. But it's worth it when we get in here and he's pitching this Chris hyphen mess. That's what we need.
And
that's what's on the banner.
After the pitch meeting, Ben drives his 94 Altima directly into a telephone pole in the parking lot. He just zips
I don't even get
right
out of
into
the
it.
lot
Because I'm fresh.
I've got boy blindness. And that's what happens when you leave the Boi Crazy studios.
It's like looking into the sun. You
Yeah.
probably shouldn't do it, but you did it. You did it.
It's crazy. And I can see peripherally. That's the crazy part. It's the center of my vision that gets eroded. It's gone. And
They call it the boy hole.
You're in the boy hole right now, and you need to deacclimate.
They don't call it the boy hole.
They do. They
No,
do because
they don't call it that. We've already.
Hey, if you want to pitch on new terms for it,
I don't.
I like to think of it more as we're all climbing Boy Mountain and we're reaching dangerous elevations, and you can't just go back to sea level. You have
That's
to sort of
right.
deacclimate a
Oh
little.
my
You know
God,
what?
you're
We
saying
are
I
your
have-
Sherpas. We are your Sherpas.
You're saying I
climbing up.
have boypoxia. You're telling me that that's what I have. Oh my God.
You may have boytitude sickness. I don't really know.
Boytitude.
Either way,
Not even. It doesn't work in like
doesn't
any
even
way.
make
I was really shoehorning it. Boytitude.
Yeah.
Boytitude. You can really put the word boy in anything we found doing this podcast.
Oh,
Some
yes.
of those may not work, but what does work is Chris Moss in July. And we hit upon this and we thought we're going to settle who's the hunkiest Chris.
Can
in the
I
pop cultural
interject
zeitgeist.
real quick, Adam?
I so wish you wouldn't because I'm on a roll, but you know
I know.
what? I value you. I do value you.
I value
and your
you.
contribution.
I
So go
value
ahead.
you, and
Go
you
ahead.
know that when we get in this, I know you care about what's best for this pod. But I want to say this is not something we came up with. I just wanted to interject that.
Oh.
This is a debate that has been raging on all over the internet, everywhere, on Reddit, on different message boards, on all kinds of feeds. This is not ours. So Adam, continue, because you were on a roll.
I suffer from a very rare condition wherein I read something, learn about something, and within 24 hours, I think I invented that thing.
It's called plagiarism, Adam. That's
Right.
what it's called. Yeah, it
Like,
has
I
a
came
name.
up with this thing. It's like it's called hunkitude, and I thought of it, and it's about if you're like giving a blowjob or whatever, you you see hunkitude on it, and I've got T-shirts, and
Yeah,
I've got keychains,
yeah.
and I've got
It's-
wallets that say it that
Yeah.
I'm selling.
Okay, cool. Well, anyway, so Adam, don't buy any of that merch, by the way. Please.
It's in the chat.
please.
There's a link to it in the show.
There's not. There's
It's
specifically not. So in this episode, we will be crowning the hunkiest Chris in the world.
Right.
In the known universe. By the end of this episode of Boi Crazy, this will be one less unknown you have to worry about because you will know the hunkiest Chris possible.
We're going to answer the question that everybody has been just tossing
Are we alone
around
in
it.
the Boyniverse? I tried to do what Adam did, and I can see why he did it because it really is easy.
That wasn't even close.
Well, the Boyniverse
I know,
is expanding.
I know, but you just say it, and
Boyniverse is
it's
constantly
fine.
expanding. Ever since the Boy Bang, the Boyniverse has just been going outward.
I don't
and
like
outward.
boy hole. I don't like boy bang. Remember, everybody listening, again, the rules. This is not sexual. This is
Nothing
purely
sexual about this.
scientific.
It's academic. This is academic, Chris.
It's an academic appraisal of hunks. And the big four that everybody is debating on the internet. These are the four that everybody keeps pushing to the top of the boy butter churner. This is the cream at the top of this.
Yeah, you're right. That one didn't ping your radar at all. Yeah,
no,
keep going.
it doesn't. Shut up. You don't even fucking know. Again, you're not helping the podcast. You never
Don't
do.
help the podcast. Andrew.
You don't, Andrew. You never help it. The question is, here are the four. Who's the hunkiest of the four? Is it Chris Evans? Is it Chris Pine? Is it Chris Hemsworth? Or is it Chris Pratt? This is the top. This is
Those are
the
the
four.
top four boys.
The four boysmen of the apocalypse.
Yep.
And that's what it is. And that's what
Well, I like boys, man.
You could have said
That works.
hunkman. You could have
'Cause that's
said
a natural
hunkman.
growth across the word. They go
No.
from boys to men.
it's
as
the four
boysmen.
boysmen of the apocalypse.
Of the
Yeah.
minpocalypse.
Of the you know what? It could have been the four Christmans of the boy apocalypse. I should have. Can
The
we
important
run
thing
it
is
back?
we're all having a mutual stroke right now.
Uh-huh.
Can
When
we run it
we
back?
have to check into the, let's be honest, urgent care because we can't afford a hospital. Just play this tape back to the doc, and he'll be able to sort of cognitively see
They'll be
what's going
"You-
on.
I've never seen this for a three-way gas leak. All three of you.
And you were in separate locations, yet the gas
Yeah.
is coming in at the exact
Yeah.
same rate.
Now, colloquially known in the scientific research centers, I am sticking with it as the four Christmen of the boy apocalypse.
Got it.
This is what we're looking at. is Chris Evans, Chris Pine, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt. Who is the hunkiest? We're going to get to that in a minute, but first and foremost, we should just quickly get some honorable mentions out because this is a very
other Chris's we should have thought about in this conversation or could have been included in this conversation.
I agree. I want to start New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. I think if you do not put this boy on your list, I love it. It's a
lot of boy to love.
It is. It's a Chris with 3 C's at the beginning of it because it's a thick Chris. And a climate denying Chris is always welcome because we don't care.
Opportunistic Chris, a sort of wishy-washy, goes as the wind blows Chris.
Sort of criminal car salesman Chris.
How in the world is Chris Christie breaking into the honorable mentions of Boi Crazy?
Because I bring something to this. I bring danger to this. That's
because of the aforementioned.
You bring bad choices to this.
Good comeback. That was really good. Do you want to take another run at that, or do you want to offer up something instead of always poo-pooing like you always do?
No, I will just be poo-pooing.
For the remainder of the episode, I will be poo-pooing.
I shall be just continuing to poo-poo. So there.
Who else has one other than just criticisms? Do you have anything to contribute?
Criticisms?
I can't.
Nothing?
Criticisms?
We're talking about Chris's. He said criticism. It's so close.
I liked it. I like that one.
It could have been criticisms if you really tried.
I like criticism.
I think we just got to wind it down. This has been Boi Crazy, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for subscribing. So
I'll take the mic. Other honorable hot Chris's.
Yes.
Honorable mention hot Chris's. I'm drawing a blank. I guess there's this kid Chris I went to school with. He's pretty good looking.
No. Come on. There are plenty of other hot Chris's in the world. Listen, I'm going to go based off personality, and I know a lot, but he made him a hunk. I'm going to say Chris Farley. Chris Farley was a hunk of a man, known as when he was in his younger years on SNL, as quite the ladies fella. Okay. And
what about Chris Cross? We count both those little dudes as one boy.
Yeah, except one of them is passed on. R.I.P. Chris.
Does not mean we cannot appreciate his
No, that's true. I'm just giving an R.I.P. to it. Chris Tucker, a hunk back in his time. Back in his time.
Producer Ron came in with Chris Martin from Coldplay, which is a great hunk. That's a sensitive hunk. That's a yellow hunk. That is a Gwyneth Paltrow landing hunk. That's a Brit hunk. There's
and because he's with Gwyneth Paltrow, not many people know Chris Martin can drink a lot of breast milk. That's a thing. If you
well, that does add points, doesn't it?
we have Chris Rock. That's another one. I went to high school with this kid named Chris Fuller. He was a pretty good left tackle.
I said, Chris, that from my class growing up, and you said no, and now you're bringing up your high school, Chris. We both personally have 2 hot Chris's in our lives.
Yes, but mine, I gave mine a position on a football team, which automatically jumps in. Oh my God, great one from producer Ron in the chat.
Wait, well, hold on. My Chris could do the thing with his eyelids where he'd flip them up.
See, and that's all I was asking you. Just give us something.
That's a skill. In that case, I'm going to do my old bandmate, Chris Taylor. He could play any instrument. He was like Prince.
There you go.
Christopher Reeve when he was Superman. That was a good one.
God.
How about Ludacris?
Chris could be anywhere in the name. It's legal. It's legal.
Okay, how about Christ? How about Jesus Christ?
And
I mean, it doesn't do it for me.
Well, I could go for it. Christ in his younger years, yes. And what a ripping bod. You got to admit.
Christ between 22 to 24 was as hot as they come.
That was, well, he peaked early. A lot of people know that.
I think he knew there was only so many years afforded him. And so
oh my God,
be hot as possible.
That's crazy. Chris Cross. You know what I mean?
God, yeah,
isn't that crazy? Yeah, there is. I see it. I see what they were doing. Anyway, those are
you name your kid Chris, you're pretty decent odds.
You have a shot at it.
You're giving them a head start in life.
That you are
to be a hunk for sure.
But unfortunately for everybody listening, there are really, as we said, there are only the top four, the barbershop quartet.
The real Chris of the crop, huh?
Yes, exactly. That's good because it starts like with the correct sound. You know the phrase I'm going for. It's exactly.
not making you search deep into English
into myself.
To figure it out.
Yes, and you guys know I don't like to go deep into myself. I don't like that.
Your song lyrics say otherwise.
But you can. You know you can.
I am capable of being deep within myself. I had a rib removed. So Chris Evans, Chris Pine, Chris Hemsworth.
Now I'm thinking about the physics of that move, and it's not where my head thought it would be going today. Chris
Pratt. Before we get into the meat of the debate, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna take a short break here. For those of you that are listening,
we got to plug our sponsor, Ruth Chris's Steakhouse. We very much thank you.
Should have been an honourable mention. I can't believe we forgot Chris from Ruth Chris's
steak out there. Sometimes I order a steak from Ruth Chris's and I don't even want to eat it. It's so fucking hot, but I have to. Because I have
an old lady name and a hunky boy name teaming up to bring you the best steaks in the biz.
Yeah, well, Chris wasn't an ageist. He loved Ruth for who she was. He didn't care that she was 40.
And Ruth was doing something highly illegal, and good for her for having one final fling. You know what I mean? Like, why do old women just have to be shut away?
It's
Can't
the Harold and Maude of steakhouses of Big Beef. That's what it is. So
some insane lore.
But yes, for those of you that are listening on our live feed, that are just listening to this for free, I'm sorry. We got to break off from you here right now. If you want to hear the rest of this insane debate, subscribe to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Grawlix Saves. It's not only this. It's not only Boi Crazy. We got the fourth act. Our fourth actors are loving all of that extra content. We've got ad-free episodes. You got to check it out. And you can come in at different levels. Plus birthday shout outs. We can give you a birthday shout out. That is transferable. Just remember that's transferable. That's, but
people do it. People do it all the time.
But for those of you that are listening on our Patreon page right now, stay tuned. We're going to be right back. We're going to dive deep into the depths of. Help me, guys. Here,
Lake Chris.
Yeah, but that doesn't even.
Of Big Chris.
Lake Chris. He said
the crisper terranean sea.
The Pacific.
The Pacific, the Chris West,
other bodies at
the Mariana
by Chris
Trench. Yes,
the Chrisima Canal.
We're gonna get
in the meantime. If we miss the mark with any of our honorable mention Chris's, let us know. Let us know our blind spots. But I think we have the top four,
dude. We're
definitively.
None of these chumps are going to be able to catch up. We got it.
We're going to figure out who's the top Chris out of those four. Join us on Patreon to figure out who's the winner. And in the meantime, thank you for listening to the Grawlix Saves the World. We'll be back next week with a regular world-saving episode. But we got work to do, boys. So let's take a quick break and let's get back to it. Christmas in July.
We're just a trio of guys. From 1 to 10, we're just a trio of guys. Once again, this really isn't all that
Boi Crazy.